guess it was inevitable we came back to a very special episode of Baywatch. But this is, gonna be quite the tightrope I'm walking here. As much as I joke about Emmy cancer, that is, Baywatch constantly giving characters cancer in a desperate bid for an Emmy, cancer in real life, of course, sucks balls. And this episode is more about the not funny kind of cancer, and less about, say, Stephanie finding out she has skin cancer while Hulk Hogan runs around with the Rec Center Championship belt. I'll just get right to it. And this is going to be a bit of a bummer to start out with, but it's important context to know. The episode Charlie was based on a real little boy named Charlie Everett Hayes, who had terminal cancer. His last wish was to visit the set of Baywatch, which you can see during the credits of the episode. To play the character inspired by the real Charlie, they cast another little boy, cancer survivor Michael Cuccioni. Unfortunately, Michael Cuccioni also died 4 years later from complications related to his cancer treatment. So we're dealing with multiple layers of tragedy here, and I want to make it clear that no jokes I make here are intended to make light of their loss. It really sucks. If there's any positives to take from this, both boys had foundations created in their names to support cancer survivors in cancer research. And because of Charlie, Dr. Ruth Decker discovered the genetic marker for medullary thyroid cancer. Lives were saved because of this discovery, and I'm sure Charlie would be happy to know that. Okay, well, time for some laughs? It's an ab-off, everybody! Ab-off! A big lifeguard boat race is coming up, and Cody tells JD that Mitch isn't going to be in the race this year. And this is a big deal, because Mitch and Newman have won the race 7 years in a row. But I guess Mitch wanted to give Hobie a chance to win, because of course if he participated, no one could beat the titan of rowboating, Mitch Buchanan. Never mind the fact that his partner Newman is still participating, we all know Mitch was the one doing all of the work. Cody also mentions that Mitch is already complaining that he hates being the captain. There's no task Mitch can't accomplish without humbly wishing he were anywhere else.
Hey, are those rowboats out there? They can't even see where they're going. Well, they're gonna know we're out here.
We're idiots!
Hey, watch out!
Okay, well, at least they knew to avoid Newman, the most important character here. Also, I think these guys were cast according to how cartoonish they could make their laughter. But alas, the death pier comes for us all. Meanwhile, Mitch orders Hobie to make dinner for them.
Do me a favor, will ya? Cook dinner?
Baywatch really is back to basics. But Hobie no longer wants to be a chef. He is a lifeguard who may or may not be in an off-screen band. Perhaps he still dreams of being an inventor. Or maybe he no longer has dreams. Dinner talk is interrupted by the arrival of April's family. Yes, for this episode and this episode only, we meet April's mother, Paige, and brother, Charlie. In case you didn't remember, April and her family love to wear Wisconsin-based clothing to remind everyone where they're from.
Well, we're from Green Bay.
As evidenced by my hat! Charlie has cancer, so he's visiting to get some tests done at UCLA. In the meantime, he and his mother are staying at April's apartment, which he shares with off-screen forever from this moment Skylar, Cody, Caroline, maybe CJ, and Stephanie's ghost. Oh, so we're just, moving on from those guys trying to kill Cody and JD and then completely obliterating a pier? This is never gonna come up again? Okay. Anyway, April is upset that her mother brought Charlie to the beach because she doesn't want everyone to know about all of their depressing problems.
Ugh, stupid cancer brother! He gets all of the attention, and he isn't even that special! How embarrassing!
And Taylor stops by to say she's going out of town, and April's family can use her houseboat. Well, thanks, Taylor! Turns out Charlie is terminal, and that's why April is so upset. Moving on, quick, do something funny, Baywatch!
Hopester, do I look like you yet?
Dad, you're not even old, it's fine to—
Shut up, Hobie. If anyone asks, I'm your brother.
Hobie has a beef with Mitch. He He wants him to be in the race so he can beat him fair and square. After all, if Mitch doesn't compete, he'll just go on and on about how Hobie only won because he wasn't participating. If Hobie beats him, Mitch will have to eat shit.
Hey, if you don't want to race because you're afraid you'll lose...
I'm 7-time champ. You don't want a piece of me, Grasshopper.
All right, you've appealed to my massive ego. You're on!
When April is once again upset at all of the attention Charlie is getting, it's Mitch who decides to have a conversation with her and not, like, her mom.
April, I have had it with you dunking on your brother. He's a hero who's going to save lives. Above all, he's family, and you should love your family.
Hey, Dad, do I still have to make dinner or...
Of course you have to make dinner, Hobie. Don't ask stupid questions. Don't forget to plug Camp Baywatch for us, Charlie. Thanks.
Man, they sure are loving American flags this season. What a time for me to be reviewing these.
On Charlie, head towards the jetty, right there. Woo!
And now, karaoke?
I wanna make a difference in this world.
Look, this is fine. I'm not gonna be a jerk. The important thing to know about the story at the moment is that April and the audience has learned a lesson here. Even if you're here a short while, you can make a real difference. Be good to each other.
Just like Hobie is going to be good to me after I annihilate him in this race.
What follows is a really boring 5 minutes of slow motion boat racing, which was apparently so dull, Charlie could not take it anymore.
I win!
No! This is surely the biggest tragedy of this episode!
Charlie has, unfortunately, passed on at the most dramatic moment. April is too grief-stricken to finish the eulogy, so Mitch just, takes it upon himself to do it?
In his own way, Charlie was a lifeguard. And that smile. That wonderful smile.
This is a nice tribute, just like, in-universe. I'm not sure why this guy Charlie just met is giving his eulogy and making a speech all about lifeguards. In all honesty, this is a pretty sad episode, in spite of Baywatch being Baywatch. Rather than end on a joke, I'll just say that I'm glad Charlie got his wish, and he and Michael made a difference. Rest in peace. Next time on Baywatch, Baywatch hits tabloid TV. Meanwhile, Caroline returns.
This